Sometimes I don't mind you having the worst day. Guys, that's God talking to me. He tells me that he doesn't mind me having the worst days. Those days, guys, those are the days I go running to him. Say, God, what's going on with me today? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Like, no shame. I be running to God, guys. So yesterday I was in the barber shop with my sons, running to him. Like, sometimes the journey just gets heavy, guys. So I was just having a little talk with God, and this verse came up. And he said, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. That's from 1 Thessalonians, right? 5:18. So right after that, there was a guy in the barbershop with a tattoo on his both legs that says God's will. So I went to show him another verse that came up with God telling me, even though it's something I don't want to do, I know that it's God's will, right? And guess what he says, guys? Minutes after I read this, give thanks in all circumstances, he says to me, well, one of my favorite verses is 1 Thessalonians, where he says, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Jesus Christ. Like how would I read this verse? And 5 minutes later, a random guy in the barbershop is quoting the verse to me, guys. Nobody could tell me that was just some regular coincidence. That was one of my special God winks, guys, where everything lined up a little bit too perfectly to be some regular coincidence. It was just God revealing another glimmer of his invisible presence with me. Do you guys get that? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Like, God will arrange and orchestrate these glimmers of his presence. So when the journey gets heavy, we could be reminded that the living God is there with us, helping us to get through those tough days, those tough moments. Where are we going to find love like this, guys? You know, for me to read that, I'm in my Jesus Calling book. God, I need some glimmer of you. I need some glimmer of you. Read that, and minutes later, for this random stranger to quote it for me. So this is where I want us. Giving thanks in all circumstances, knowing this is God's will for you. He knows what's best for us. And then I have a second mommy now. I call her second mom. I called her yesterday, and she said, Nikki, look up this verse. And it was about having faith in God, guys. And this is where I want us, having faith in God, knowing that we don't handle our lives alone, that God is there. So we're not doubting him. We're just walking in his faith, his confidence. He said, let me be the meaning of your composure, that I can go through my life happy and smiling and joyful, even when it's hard. Our burdens are light. Our yoke is easy, because God himself is there to help us to carry our crosses and our burdens, guys. Okay, so it's just having this constant conversation with God. Okay, God, right here, what do we do? And walking through life with God as your constant companion. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Do you hear me? God is our constant companion. Every moment, every second, he's by our side, guys. Every single moment. Okay? So for us to learn his voice and tap into him, like me showing that guy, I know he's saying, this is this crazy lady, you know, but I showed him the verse where God tells me not to give up. And for him to quote that, said, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you. It's just a reminder that all the tough situations and everything we go through, God knows what he's doing with us. He knows what we need. He knows precisely the experiences that we need to become our best selves, so we can shine bright on this world on his behalf. Okay, guys? So don't miss out, man. I don't want to feel as loved by God by myself. I want you feeling his presence with you too. Even yesterday was hubby and I's anniversary of the first day that we met. And can you believe God even showed up there? So I was having another appointment after the barbershop, you know, another appointment with God. And of all the pages that I went to, it talked about, of all days, the anniversary of our first meeting 19 years ago showed up. So here I am on our anniversary of 23 years that we met, of our first meeting. God had me to go to this post of 100 and almost 50 pages of the anniversary of our first meeting 19 years ago. And that was just another glimmer. There's no way of all days he took me to that anniversary of our meeting again. As a random coincidence, it was just again God saying, Nick, my presence is always with you. And the hubby ended up cooking with Joshie on video, our little 14-year-old. And the best food ever, like you should see me eating this chicken like it was the best chicken that he showed our son Joshie how to cook. And that was a special anniversary present from God to me. So don't miss out, man. Don't miss out. Even the hubba in Nigeria, that's my gift from God. I love you, my booby. We go through our ups, we go through our downs, but this wifey is ride or die with you, boo. And that's one of the things God has been teaching me, this loyalty, this faithfulness. You don't give up. You keep going, and being God's people. Let's be God's representatives in the world. Loving hard, going the extra mile in loyalty and faithfulness. Just doing our best. Being great every day for God. Okay? Don't miss out. I promise you. Even though it gets hard sometimes, it's still the best life with God guiding us, with his loving eye upon us, on the path that he would have for us, because he knows what's best. So let's be about doing God's will, not our will, guys. Let's be about doing God's will. Okay? Let's make Papa God proud out there.